When four friends from college reunite, there's a party, an affair, and almost a wedding. We're talking episode 1, season 1 of Four Weddings and a Funeral.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, AfterBuzzers! Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are watching Four Weddings and a Funeral after show here at AfterBuzz TV. Hey! I am so excited. I am joined by my two co-hosts. My name is Nikki Bailey. My co-hosts are the amazing...
Hey guys, it's Mariel Turner.
And
I'm Eric Sinsley.
Woohoo! All right, guys, we are going to talk about these characters. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of each one. We're going to talk about the wedding that wasn't. And we're going to go over our top 3 something. We're going to leave that as a surprise.
Ooh.
And, of course, then we're going to talk about our predictions for the next episodes. Are you guys ready to start?
We are ready.
Heck yeah. Okay, so Mariel, overall impressions.
I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was really cute and it was funny. I thought the acting was really great. There were a few cliche moments, but overall, I definitely liked it. And I'm looking forward to the next episodes.
Eric?
Ditto, and I thought that they really nailed the cussing and cursing at the beginning of the episode. I thought that was very on point, and I'm excited to see what we get into.
Me too. This is Four Weddings and a Funeral is one of my favorite movies from, what was that, the 90s, I guess? Hugh Grant and I think Helena Bonham Carter, and it's so hilarious. And the movie starts with all of them late for a wedding and just the F word, for like 3 minutes.
All over the place.
So I'm really glad that they kept that in the first episode, because that was that's literally my favorite part of the movie. So let's actually get into these characters. Okay, so let's start with Maya. What do we know about her so far from episode 1? What stood out for you?
Well, she's the communications director for a senator named Ted, and she is dating him, and he is...
married.
Okay, Eric was all polite about it. Dating him.
She's a mistress.
She's a mistress.
She's
a side
She's
chick.
a straight up mistress.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that they made the main character a mistress, because, normally people hate mistresses and side chicks, but I kind of like that she seems to be very relatable and that she's not perfect. She has a lot going on. She's trying to juggle work and this relationship that really isn't the best for her. And then even later in the episode, we see that she kind of messes things up at a certain wedding, and I like that she isn't perfect.
I do too. And I also like that she understands that this is not a good situation. Like, she even says, I don't think you're going to leave your wife. She thinks it's never going to happen. And so I'm always interested when you see, like, that affair relationship. I'm like, girl, don't you know? He's not leaving his wife for you.
Yeah.
So I was first of all surprised that she had that awareness for herself, but then surprised that he actually did.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But I think once you factor in that Maya wasn't the only one, it makes more sense why he left.
Yes.
So let's break that down.
Break it down.
Okay. So Maya is having an affair with Ted, who is a congressman running for Senate. Bust how Ted is also having an affair with some chick named Kaylee. So Ted is messy. And now, we don't know what's going to happen with Maya and her job. But what did you think of the interaction of, so Maya and Kash meet at the airport. Let's talk about that meet cute. Because obviously there's something there. Obviously it's going to be a big deal for the series. What do we think about the way they met? I loved it. I'm gonna start because I thought it was adorable and cute. Totally cliche. 100%. Because usually, the meet cute where, like, they hate each other at first, but then they're like, whatever. But, like, but I thought it was cute. I think Kash is adorable. And I thought they had such great chemistry, and I bought it.
Well, also the fact that they were at an airport that just kind of added to the cliche-ness for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you that I absolutely loved it. Like, I'm a sucker for corny romantic things like that, like a really cute meet cute. And I thought they had like a great little vibe, and I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the things that people would say, like, this is just so horribly cliche, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I love it. Because I'm just a rom-com freak. So I thought it was adorable.
Yeah, I think that, you know, you said it when we talked about overviews, like sort of there's a lot of cliche in this show. So one of the things was, so not only was their meet cute a cliche, but even the fact that Kash, well, we're not talking about him yet. But I loved that Maya loves Mamma Mia.
Yes.
Have you guys seen Mamma Mia?
Of course.
I actually have not seen it. I know, and I love musicals.
Have you seen the play?
No.
And you haven't seen the movie either?
No,
Your
I know.
assignment for next week, you need to watch
Yes.
Mamma
I
Mia.
will.
Yes.
I will make sure I get it
All
done.
right, we're gonna hold her accountable for that, okay? But I loved that they had this cute thing. I thought their conversation was way too deep for a first conversation.
I mean, they both bonded over the fact that their mothers had passed away. So I do think that was going deep real quick, you know?
Yeah, the whole like, you ever feel like you've just gone down the wrong path in life?
Yeah, it was a lot for someone you literally just met 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's a lot to like, but you see, that's why they have that connection.
That special connection.
That
You're so
special
right.
connection.
Because it appeals to the part of the brain, mostly a lot for women, the part of the brain that has rom-com movie syndrome. Right?
Yep.
Like we grow up on these movies and we all have this, one day it'll happen to me. And so I love that it played with that for us, and that we're getting what we want from a romantic comedy.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
But
Okay.
do you think it was love at first sight, or I personally felt it was a little lust at first sight? What did you guys?
I think there was some lust, but I think the thing that connected them though was the first real connection they had was about their moms dying, and then he confided that he didn't want to be the account exec that he is, and I think that sort of showing vulnerability in that, you know, Brene Brown kind of way. You guys know Brene Brown? She's this like social worker who has these really famous TED Talks on vulnerability. Go watch them, they're so good. But what she says is the way that people make connection is to be vulnerable with each other. And so that's what we saw in the airport, which I thought was delightful and cute.
Yeah, I thought it was chemistry at first sight. You know, they just had like a good
It flowed.
chemistry.
It flowed. There was
exactly.
no like forcing. It was very natural.
Yeah. So before we move on to talking about our next character, Craig, Eric.
We want to thank you guys so much for always watching us and making us the ESPN of TV talk. But for us to continue to grow, we could really use your help, and we really appreciate you guys. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment. We love to engage with you guys, and we love to get you guys involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love most. So thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so we finished talking about Maya, who was played by Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones. Beautiful, loved it.
Yes.
So Craig, who's played by Brandon Michael Smith, who I don't know from anything else, but what did we think of Craig? What do we know about him? What did we think about him? What did we like? What didn't we like?
Well, the first thing we saw was his butt. So what did you guys think of that? That's how he was introduced.
I had no problems with the butt. You know, I thought that was great. At first, I was thinking this seems a little stereotypical just because it's like, oh, okay, it's a black guy, he only likes sports or whatever it is. But I think they were able to get into his character a little bit more, and you kind of see, especially as he finds out that he has a daughter, that there's a lot more layers to him than just like the cool sports guy. So
I think him having a kid is another cliche that you know, the black guy has a kid, isn't into sports, whatever. But we're going to let you have this one for weddings because we're so far we're pleased, I think, so far. I thought I was actually more interested in Craig's girlfriend than in Craig himself. His girlfriend was Zara, And the way she says his name, number one, makes me scream. Craig?
Craig.
Gotta work on these accents,
God,
guys.
hopefully we don't have a lot of people from London and
Yeah.
the UK watching
No,
us.
I do a really good English
Oh,
accent.
you really do.
I had a British roommate at university. So,
Oh, university.
yeah. So, but we know these four, the four friends, they met in college, and we know that Brandon is moving into a new place, and he's asking his girlfriend Zara to move in with him. We don't know tons yet, except that Craig is still in London while Maya was in New York. And Craig is having a conversation. He starts having a conversation with Duffy. So obviously, they're still really close.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of what Craig has to offer. I mean, I don't think we got to get into him too much.
But we don't know for sure if that is actually his child.
We don't.
That's true.
Because he got a random Facebook message.
From Julia Smith.
Smith is a real common name, Julia.
Yeah, Julia Smith. That
They don't
could
know
be,
you.
That could be a catfish.
She's
Right.
getting catfished for sure.
Right.
For sure.
And so but I love how tender he was about the idea of having a daughter.
Yeah, I liked that I'm sure at first he was freaked out, but then when we did the time jump, he's going to watch Molly, and he seems like he really cares about her and he wants to be involved in her life. So I'm a little scared for him, actually, because, like you said, we don't know if Molly is his actual kid. And so for him to get that invested without at least a paternity test.
And he's never actually met her. He just watches her on
Yeah.
Saturdays. But it was so darling to me when he, was so proud of her when she won the goal, when she got the
Yeah.
goal.
He's like, that's my kid. That's my kid.
And he doesn't even know her yet. So whether Molly, we found out her name is Molly, whether Molly is actually Craig's daughter, Craig seems like good peoples.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the necklace or should we...
Oh, we got to talk about the necklace. First of all, let's also talk about the fact that Craig has not told Zara yet
Yes.
about this potential kid.
And he's known for
A
A
year.
year.
Yeah.
I don't know about this relationship. I see it going downhill.
Well, I think Zara is kind of vapid.
Yes, very.
So, I mean, the dress that she wore to the wedding.
The pink leopard?
The pink leopard.
Yes.
With the Pippa Middleton hat. What?
She seems very superficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved when she was making her her YouTube video about, she switched it up from hair to cooking, and she's live on YouTube, or it might have been Instagram, and Craig walks in and says, "What's that smell? Did you fart?" that was my favorite line of tonight's episode from Craig.
Yeah, every influencer's nightmare is to have someone accuse you of farting while you're live, I guess.
And she was live. She was live.
And then when she found the necklace, you know she was immediately thinking, like, my name does not start with an M, so
And,
Craig must be cheating.
Yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're not at predictions yet. We will talk predictions, but remind me to talk about my prediction with the necklace.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready to move on to the Duffster?
Yes, let's
do
do
it.
it.
I don't know if we will get to a point in the series where Duffy will be called the Duffster, but on this show, we're calling him the Duffster. Duffy, played by John Reynolds. He's a teacher and a writer, and we see him, the first time we see him, he's opening mail in front of his class.
Mm-hmm.
I love, first of all, the kids in his class helped him with his submissions. Did you guys ever have a teacher like that who was like really not about the business of teaching, but like, no?
No, yeah, my teachers were like, to the book.
Cutthroat?
Yeah.
Have you?
I had a
Did
teacher
you?
who was, they weren't, it's not like they didn't care, but it was like, they weren't 100% present. You know what I mean? And so, they weren't as friendly. She wasn't as friendly as Duffy was with his students. And I thought that was absolutely adorable with little Augie and and the other kids. And his book got rejected from Penguin Publishing. So obviously he wants to be a writer and not a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
We see that. Mm-hmm. We also find out that Duffy has a little crush on somebody.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Duffy's been in love with Maya for 10 years?
10 years.
What?
And hasn't said a thing.
Hasn't said a thing.
But he was scripting it all out. He was about to reveal what he wanted to say to her at that party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved the way he was gonna do it. We're
So
gonna get
cute.
into the party in a minute, but he had his whole thing ready. He had his
know.
big gesture.
I love that he seems to be very sensitive, obviously creative because he's a writer, and he very much reminds me of the rom-com cliche of like the best friend that's in love with the girl.
Absolutely.
Very like
The goofy.
yeah,
goof.
the goofy, like, you know, very pretty in pink, and the girl likes the jerk jock guy and
Right.
not the best friend. He reminds me of that character a lot. So I do want to see a little bit more to him so that he's not pigeonholed. But he seems very sweet, and he's all about Maya, so I love that.
I agree, and I loved that that when Craig was giving Duffy his pep talk about telling Maya how he felt. He's like, "You're not a geek in the dorm anymore," and Duffy's like, "No, I actually still live in a dorm," because obviously it looks like he's like the RA or something,
Right.
Yeah.
the dorm dad for the kids at the school. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from Duffy as well.
Likewise, I can't wait.
Awesome. All right, Ainsley. Ainsley is their the fourth friend, and it's her birthday, and so Maya's going out to London for Ainsley's party. First impressions of Ainsley. What do we know about her? What do we like? What don't we like?
Well, she's beautiful first and foremost, but I don't think she revealed to us tonight what her actual job was, and I think that will tell us a lot about her moving forwards.
Yeah, I think initial impression, I don't know, I was very neutral on her. I didn't really have like a strong opinion because I felt like we didn't see that much of her personality. But it was at the airport where she picked up Maya, where I was like, this is a great friend. The fact that she had those cue cards and they were just so cute. And I think it's so important to support your friends when they're going through something. And for her to do all of that for Maya says a lot about her character, I think.
I agree. She's obviously a ride or die homie for her girl. The whole cards at the airport. First of all, the whole thing was Love Actually. You guys caught that reference, right? Okay. So it's the Love Actually thing, not just the cards, but even that she did it at the airport.
Yes.
All
Yes,
Love Actually.
very.
Which is my favorite movie for Christmas time.
Love it.
Yes. Okay. So I have a rule though, I can't watch it until Thanksgiving.
Well,
And then I can
I
watch.
feel like we all have those friends who say, "I told you so," and when you're in that moment of whatever the circumstances, you just want to
Yeah.
pop them. So I think we would all like a friend who would just maybe put it on a sign.
Yeah.
I don't want
Right.
to hear you say it, but I will see you say it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's a smaller pill to swallow than and then I love that the little old lady behind them
Yes.
thought that she had proposed. I thought
Yeah.
that was
Yes.
And then they played it up a little. I
Little
love that
a little
whole
booty
scene.
grab.
booty grab, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that was revealed most about Ainsley though is about who she is now is her new best friend Gemma. And I feel like it's really interesting. First of all, Gemma is wealthy, obviously, and is married to wealthy. And Ainsley obviously lives across the street. So Ainsley must be doing well professionally because she's got
Yes.
some money there. And so I thought Gemma, she stole the show for me.
Really?
I think she's gonna be one of my favorite characters. We all love a good BA. You guys know what that, So, or maybe I should say HBIC. I think she thinks of herself as
Yes.
a
Oh,
HBIC.
she's totally. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I didn't know that term had transferred. HBIC. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gemma may have invented that word.
Yeah, I think Gemma is hilarious. I think she is totally over the top. I love that she says completely unsolicited to Maya, "I love my child too much to work."
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And yet her child's at boarding school, we find out. So
Right.
Yeah.
I think she's great. I think that her whole, what I wrote in my notes was Maya versus Gemma. Who will win Ainsley's heart?
Yes.
It is like the battle of the best friends.
Yep.
I found her to be so annoying, but I think that is the purpose of her character. Like, she's supposed to be that person that you may not like in real life. And I thought it was really interesting that she started singing at the wedding. I mean, we get to talk about it a little bit later, but that moment was just very odd to me.
It was odd, and it was also. I feel like Gemma definitely is another rom-com cliche that, you know, obviously we love and also hate. But but what it reminded me of was in Bridesmaids.
Yes, Helen.
Yeah,
That's
right?
what I was about to say. Yep.
So I think
She is Helen.
She is totally Helen, and I think, and we now see that Maya is sort of in a Kristen Wiig kind of situation because she's gonna lose her she's losing her job because of what happened with Ted, or I guess she doesn't have to lose her job.
Yeah, it seems kind of up in the air. It's gonna happen.
But it would be interesting to see, like, her life's about to start to crumble, and now Gemma's gonna, you know, rise up in the Ainsley friendship hierarchy.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see that kind of play out, because as much this is about romantic relationships, I also feel like it's very much about, just like the movie, very much about the friendships and how that they navigate that. So that'll be really interesting to see that play out.
I think it'll be really interesting. I think we might at some point need to create like a chart to show all of relationships, and because I think what we're going to find out, well, no, that's a prediction, but I think it'll be interesting to see how the friendships and the romantic relationships change and get stressed and all that good stuff. So I'm loving it. But we know that Ainsley had this birthday party that was rom-com movie themed.
Which is genius.
Yeah, I love it.
I loved it.
I love that they're doing like a rom-com within a rom-com within a rom-com within, like, there's like, it's the whole Shakespeare play within a play thing. Like, I love that they're making fun of rom-coms while doing a rom-com, and wonderful.
That's a way for production to draw us in too.
Oh, totally.
You know?
Yeah, I thought it was so cute. You know, it gave me an idea. I was like, oh, I'm turning 30 next year. Maybe I'll, you know, break out a rom-com party for my 30th birthday bash. So, yeah, I thought it was so cute.
Okay, so since we're talking about the 30th birthday bash that Ainsley had that was rom-com themed, we're going to do our top 3 segment about that. What were our favorite rom-com movie costumes from the party?
Mine was Gemma. It was Gemma, dressed as Rachel Chu from Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
The wedding scene where she walks down.
Yes.
Iconic.
And there she is. Yeah.
And when we first saw it, we were like, wait, why do we know that dress? What's that dress from? So, and it was a perfect facsimile. So.
And I was like, only a wealthy person could perfectly, you know, make up that dress. It's a very expensive dress in real life.
Which is ironic because Rachel Chu is not filthy rich.
Yeah.
She's not. But then I wonder if Gemma, like, I would love it. I feel like the backstory that Gemma has about that dress is that it's the actual dress that Rachel wore in the movie. I don't know. That's just, I just made that up. I just made that up.
That would make sense for her character, definitely. Okay,
Mariel, what is your favorite?
Mine was definitely Maya dressed as Monica from Love and Basketball. I just thought that was so iconic, especially because I feel like that movie is like just so huge, and it's been almost 20 years since it came out.
Oh my God, I'm so old.
She looked just, even to like the slick back basketball pony. She like rocked it all.
Look how young Sanaa Lathan looks in that picture.
So young.
Yeah.
And I was surprised no one got it. Maybe because it's London.
Because it was that movie was a huge thing for African Americans in this country, and so I didn't know why no one got it either. I knew instantly who she was,
Monica.
and so in one of my favorite movies that I'm gonna have to rewatch this weekend. What did we? So my favorite, my top one was from Say Anything when Duffy was dressed as Lloyd Dobler from Say Anything. That is one of the best movies, John Hughes movies ever. It is a classic. You got John Cusack standing outside with the boombox playing "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel to win the woman. And I love that Duffy was doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, he walked in with the boombox
right here. I know, and he was. If she had just walked outside, her heart would have melted.
But she stood him up. He said, "Do you want to go outside and talk?" And she stood him up, and he waited for her. I banged the table.
Poor Duffy. I feel like he's gonna get his heart broken.
He said he had his own party out back.
Yeah, by himself. Him in the boombox. Bless Bless Duffy's heart.
We love you, Duffy.
We love him. All right. I also loved. I love just honorary mention. Coming to America, Craig's costume was really good. We saw some Clueless in the background. Ella Enchanted, Zorro.
Yeah,
There
like
was
everything.
there were some good costumes there.
And they were all spot on, not like homemade costumes.
Right.
Like, these are clearly like we invested in having the correct look for this party.
Agreed.
So.
That was like, that's when you get to the level when your friends got money and you can have a good party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's that 30s life.
That's that someday, and I'm not in my 30s, so that's one of those lives. Yeah, man. All right, let's talk about the wedding. Guys.
Where do we start?
Yeah.
Where do we start?
What a mess.
Let's start with Maya before she even leaves for the wedding. So Maya's back in New York. She's now the communications person, the Olivia Pope for Senator Ted, who won his election, is now a senator. And she gets to make the announcement that his marriage is ending, and she thinks it's ending because of her. And then we find out that he had an affair with some little intern.
No, it was a dog walker.
A dog walker.
It was
Not
the,
even.
It was
Not
the
even.
family dog walker.
So
But even
sad.
before that, it said that, I can't even think about it because she didn't know that he had cheated yet. But then he walked in and they were super happy together. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was
the chain of events. He walked in and they were so excited.
Right, and she was
then-
like, yeah, and that's when she said, I didn't think you'd ever
Yes.
do it. And she said, we have the rest of our lives for my friends to like you.
And then did you see his face?
I saw his face.
He
Yeah.
had a face.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
why
kind
I
of
got
like,
confused for a second. I'm like, this guy, there's something up his sleeve that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
I think that basically the cliches upon cliches upon cliches is, I think, going to be my favorite part of this show. So, because the dog walker, whatever, a senator having an affair with somebody on his staff.
Who's like 19.
Right.
It only makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So she gets on a flight to London. What I loved is that we saw that her life has stepped up a little bit because now she's flying first class. Okay.
Yes. Room.
But she's devastated. But we do see that she took Cash's advice and put the pink ribbon on her black suitcase.
Yeah, that was cute. And he also had a moment that comes over later on where he's like, oh, I finally watched Mamma Mia. So they
Yes.
clearly were thinking of each other.
Ooh, and we didn't even talk about this. At the party,
Oh, yes.
Maya meets Ainsley's boyfriend, who is
Cash with a
Cash.
K.
Cash with a K.
y'all.
And then
Man.
what was her great line? Ryan Gosling dipped in caramel.
In caramel.
And then
Yeah.
when they were confronted to one another, she said, "Oh no, I said Brian Gosling. He's an American actor with average looks."
So that was like, I feel like the show is so funny. That just seems like the most awkward thing to me in life, to be like, oh, I really like this guy. I thought he was cute. And then you go into a party and you see that it's your best friend's boyfriend.
Oh my God.
It's
What
like,
are the chances?
It's just very
What are the
uncomfortable.
chances?
And then I'm also wondering about Ainsley. Like, did she not see? I don't
Feel
know.
the
Like,
vibe?
feel the
Did she even feel the vibe, right?
I don't know.
I also thought it was interesting. I mean, Maya obviously told her that she met someone in the airport. Would you have told your friend that this is the guy I met in the airport? Like, would you have said something?
When they
I
were
don't
confronted?
know.
When they met at the party? Like, even if it was the next day, would you have
No.
said?
I
don't
think she
think
was so
so.
caught off guard that no.
I wouldn't want to plant any ideas in like my friend's head that like I want to scheme on her man or anything. So I'm probably keeping it to myself. I
You
think.
know what this is like? It's like The Wedding Planner with Jennifer Lopez. It's that
Yes!
scene when they're dancing,
Absolutely.
they're ballroom
Yes.
dancing.
Absolutely.
That's what that was.
Oh, the rom-comedy-ishness of it all. Yes.
I'm actually pretty proud of myself.
You
for
are.
knowing
Yeah,
that.
That's
Eric.
impressive.
Yes.
Good job, Eric.
Somebody raised him right. He knows his rom-com references. I like it.
Thank you, Mama.
But I actually would have told her. I would have said,
Right
oh my,
then and there?
not right then and there, but the next day, like while we were having some alone time, and I would have said, look, I think Kash is amazing, and it's a huge coincidence. I don't know how to explain it, but he was the guy I met. And I'm telling you because, you know, you're my girl, and I want to just make sure that everything's above board and transparent.
Which
That's
that
fair.
could have prevented, and we haven't gotten to the actual ceremony part.
Let's
Yeah.
get there. Let's get there. Okay, so we're at the ceremony. First of all, Gemma has redesigned her dress. She's a hot mess. And
It looks good though.
and it's beautiful.
On her line when she was getting sewn and tied up, and she said,
Right.
I can breathe when I die.
Right, tighter.
Yeah.
Right.
tighter.
Yeah, Gemma's my favorite character.
You gotta
so
love
far.
her.
Yeah, I love it. So, and then we see that Maya is trying to go over the scripture that she's going to read. Now, this was annoying to me. I have a Master's of Divinity degree. I am trained in ministry. That 1 Corinthians scripture is so common. And they were in a church. Why couldn't she pick up a Bible? Was I not sitting on the couch saying,
You were.
pick up a Bible? You in a church. It's a Bible right
were.
behind you. I don't understand.
Yeah, I feel like there's lots of ways she could have went around that. Like maybe, it's on her phone, you know, something.
Right.
Just a
On
quick
her
Google,
phone,
like
something.
just to read it. But
Yeah.
then we would have gotten her great lines
Yes.
like Gangster's Paradise mixed with the Bible.
Thank you, thou.
Mhm.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
So that was, you're right. We needed the setup so that we could enjoy her wonderful thing. But she bombed after Gemma's surprise number,
Yeah.
Stevie
Yes.
Wonder cover with Emil Sunday. I don't know how to say her name, but I have her music on my phone. But I don't remember how to say her name. I was super excited that Emil Sunday was on there.
Yeah.
Because I love her.
That was one of those moments where you're like, how do I follow up to that?
Right.
Yeah.
I love, even the minister was like,
That
tough
was
act
great.
to follow. Yeah.
I will say though, if I were the bride, I think I would be a little like, hey, this wasn't planned in the wedding. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too type A, but I'd be like, this is.
Are you a little bridezilla-ish?
You would shut it down? Would you
I
shut
think
it
I
down?
would have. Like, I've never been a bride, so I don't know. But I could just see myself being like, wait a minute. Like, we have to get, this has
Right.
to go on a certain schedule. So I don't know. But clearly Ainsley loved it, so that's what matters.
I feel like if Gemma had started singing and it was terrible,
Mm-hmm.
we would, she would catch hands.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was good and that, and that a star shows up to finish the song, you got to give it to Gemma.
yeah,
It's over
she
top,
went
over
above
the top,
and beyond.
but it was
She
good.
did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then, we didn't talk about the fact that Maya walked into
Yes.
Kash's room while he was getting, changed. Well, I mean, he wasn't naked, but getting prepared to go on.
Still his tie.
Mhm.
And of course, she fixed his tie, of course, another
Yeah.
cliche. But that is when I knew that the wedding was gonna.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
neither.
Oh, yeah.
Did you-
No.
wow.
Yeah, okay, well, one thing I did like about it is that
Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, I felt like Maya was really good at keeping the boundary. Like
Yes.
she seemed to be very friendly. No
Yes.
like ulterior motives or anything. Even fixing his tie, I think he felt like away, but I think she did it purely as a friend.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I did appreciate about
Yeah.
that interaction.
But after she tied his tie and she walked out, he said the F word. Was like, damn.
Yeah. He likes
That's
her.
when I knew.
He likes
So
her.
you think, because I thought that he, honestly, I don't know why I didn't make this connection. That's why he stopped the wedding. In my mind, I was like, well, maybe he just knows he's not that into Ainsley. But it's not. He just found out that Maya broke up with her boyfriend.
Mhm.
And that's why he stopped the wedding.
I think it's
Because
a
he's
mixture.
into Maya.
Yeah,
I think it's both.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think it's both. Like, I feel like he knows that Ainsley's not the one, and he also just found out that Maya is now single, and so you mix those two things together, and you leave somebody at the altar, I guess.
Wow. I mean, and even the way that he did that. First of all, the wedding happened in a church. Kash comes from a Muslim family, and his dad said, I wish you were marrying someone Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're happy, I'm happy. Loved his dad. He might be my second favorite character in the show so far. what did we think? I felt like that moment where we find out that, and I don't know why I didn't realize, he's Pakistani. I could have assumed he was Muslim. But like that moment when there was that when his dad said that made me go, oh, well then why are they having in a church? Like why wouldn't they have like an interfaith? But again, I'm a religion geek. So to me, that looked like a place where their relationship was not in
on the
sync.
same page.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, so I'm and then when he left her at the altar, like the way.
Yeah, that's messed up. I loved Kash throughout the episode, but it's really hard to come back from leaving someone at the altar because that means that you felt doubts for a while.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch Grey's Anatomy?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have.
There's an episode that's identical to that with April.
Yeah, and then they run off together.
Yep.
And it's like, come on, at least the night before or a week before, like literally the moment you're supposed to say I do, that's when you're like, actually, this isn't working out.
Right.
How?
And the way that he did it, where he's like,
Can I talk to you?
He's like, yeah, can I talk to you? I'd really like to talk to you. And then the minister says, will you or do you? And he goes, I guess I don't. Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was real. Like, I know he had to do it because of the whole Maya thing, but for me as a viewer, it makes me not like his character as much because it's just like, come on, that's a messed up way to do it.
I agree. Like, how do you get? Because I loved Kash from the beginning, but that made him like in my mind. He diminished in my evaluation of him, and so I don't know how they're gonna get me back to being on Team Kash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think next week we'll see, because we didn't get to really see Maya's reaction to when he says I don't. We saw like a snippet, but I do want to see her face.
So while we're in that, why don't we move on to predictions? Are we not doing predictions anymore? Let's do predictions.
Yeah, let's do predictions.
I got a quick prediction, and it's kind of a generalization of a prediction. I think that Gemma is going to be not so wealthy.
Ooh.
Interesting.
She's perpetrating a fraud.
Maybe
She has a front on.
Oh.
Yeah,
I see
like
you,
that.
Gemma. I see what
like
you're doing.
that. I liked Gemma and her whole family, so I feel like her husband's ridiculous, her kid's ridiculous. I cannot wait to see more of them, and I would love that kind of complication for them.
Yeah.
Or maybe they lose it all.
Yeah.
Like, they come from money and then something happens. Predictions. I think Maya and Kash are gonna end up together in the end. I mean, come on.
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's how the rom coms go. But I don't see how when he left your best friend at the altar. I don't know how that trajectory is going to go, but I do think they'll be together. And then I also feel like Craig and his girlfriend are going to have some issues with the whole daughter thing. Is that his daughter? How does he figure that whole thing out? And I see a... what's the word? I want to say threesome, but that's not it. Love triangle.
Love triangle.
Yes, between Maya, Duffy, and Kash at some point. Very, like I said, very pretty in pink.
I'm with you on that. I'm gonna co-sign on the love triangle. I think that Zara, who is Craig's girlfriend, she found the necklace from Tiffany. Because Craig, good for him. But I think that she's going to see it. She sees the M. I think she's going to assume it's Maya.
Yes, I thought that too.
And they're going to have so that's going to be tension. I'm interested to know what that will mean for like Duffy and Craig's friendship, what it'll mean for Duffy and Maya's, like Duffy's feelings for Maya, because it was interesting that Maya was the one friend that Craig decided to tell about the potential child.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, like, are they closer than other people? You know what I mean? So like, I feel like there's something interesting that's going to be happening there, and I think the love triangle is going to be awesome, but I think that Maya's going to try it with Duff. Like they're gonna have a kiss or something, but then she's gonna realize, no, I really want Kash or whatever.
Yeah, I could see that happening definitely.
I really think the writers did an amazing job of leaving us viewers wondering and thinking, and that's the objective here, is to make us want to watch more and think what's gonna happen with all these characters. So
yeah,
I agree, and there are so many wonderful rom-com tropes to play with. I'm super looking forward to like finding to continuing to pull them out, and also to see like how they turn on their head. Like I feel like maybe we'll see some new. I hope we'll see some new rom-com twists that we never saw before. Like that'd be kind of cool.
Something new and original. And I wanted to add one more. I think that Ainsley is gonna find a great love. Because I can only see her being okay with Kash and Maya if she finds like a great love of her own, and she's like, actually, I didn't really love this guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she's gonna find like the one before season 1 is up.
Wouldn't it be awesome if Ainsley's great love is Gemma?
Oh my gosh! Okay, I can hear that.
Interesting.
But she's married.
I
No,
don't-
no
to
more.
like a total dweeb.
No more mistresses. Cut that
One's
out.
enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's going to be good stuff coming up. I am super excited about the Four Weddings and a Funeral show on Hulu. We will be back here next Wednesday, right, at 7. Was that time we started? Where can folks find you, Eric?
You guys can follow me on all social platforms at Eric Sinsley.
Hey guys, you can follow me on all social media at Mariel_Turner.
And you can find me at Nikki Bailey _. We cannot wait to see you next week to talk about episode 2 of Four Weddings and a Funeral. See you then. Have a great week.
Good night, guys.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.